Hi guys, I'm a couple days late. I might have gotten a little bit of sun. This week has been crazy busy because I wanted the video out on time, but I was taking a bunch of additional scuba classes for an upcoming trip that's happening this month. And for me to do that, I had to do classwork, I had to study, I still had to work, and I had to then do all my performance dives or checkout dives over the weekend. I am proud to announce that I have accomplished it. I even got a shirt to prove it. So that's kind of cool. It shows this from the dive shop that I went with. And I got myself certified for wreck diving, for advanced buoyancy control, where you actually adjust your height in the water with your lungs only, rather than adjusting with a pressure in your BCD. I also got certified for deep diving. I'm working on nitrox right now. What else did I do? I dove with zombies. That was a lot of fun. I don't have any pictures from it because I was busy, but we had some zombies waiting underwater in the lake, and we would have to swim in and not get scratched or bit by the zombies. And that was pretty fun to do, 30 feet below the surface. And then later on, we had to rescue a doctor who was in the lake who had the possible cure, and we had to find zombie gas. And when I was all done, I actually have a certificate of completion proving that I am ready for the zombie apocalypse and I can save the world because I know what to do underwater. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, this week's video is going to be kind of a brief one. It's a behind the scenes at the Birch Aquarium, and I hope you like it. 2 chartered buses took about 80 or more of us to the Birch Aquarium for a catered event for MACNA speakers and sponsors. The Birch Aquarium is in La Jolla, California, which is just north of San Diego. This party included music and snacks and food, and we just hung around and got to visit with one another and enjoy the sun as it was setting down over the ocean. But then, of course, there was a presentation at their kelp forest tank, which I thought would be really interesting, but I couldn't film it at all. I took a couple of pictures, but you just couldn't see it no matter what I tried with the camera. Once that concluded, we were free to go roam the building and explore. So here's just a bunch of different tanks that I saw. So as I was looking around, I just felt like we were missing some people. Like they were off somewhere else, and I had to figure out why. Well, it turns out they'd open up the doors to where you could go anywhere and see anything.
But he's the one in charge of the corals now, so he does the
I love jellies and
No way that's it.
those are
I can't be.
Wow.
purple and
No way.
I'm not.
That's the upside down jellyfish. Yeah, it's coming up on a year. I just don't remember when exactly they switched it out.
They're really cool.
That's it. Look at them. I'm getting it right there. So you think these? Okay? So you said you think they're puffer eggs. So what else could they be?
We have some zebra moray eels that are also laying eggs in the tank.
That would be cool.
I had one batch, but I don't think they ever ate for me. but they got pretty big. The hydroids tend to be a little bit smaller and thinner.
Wow.
So these are all moon jellies in here, but I do have some purple stripes in this tank. There's only like a dozen, so they're really hard to see. But I see one.
I thought it was fleeting.
So these polyps are all the upside down jelly polyps.
Oh, okay. So they're on that first before they get to this stage.
The upside down jellies you can actually have in coral tanks with fish if you want.
So the fun part for me, of course, is that everyone there is just as nerdy as I am. And we're all looking at stuff and observing and asking questions and oohing and awing over tiny little bits of life, as well as the larger kind of awesome looking stuff. When we got behind the exhibit with the octopus, we all wanted to touch the octopus. We wanted to see it. We would stand there and wait for our turns. It was a lot of fun, and it's something that I'm going to remember forever. Hi there.
Oh, no way.
There you go. Be careful, don't put your hand in the middle of that.
Aww.
Yeah, be careful, she's getting awful close.
She feels soft and
Yeah,
rubbery.
she goes up. You taste like human.
I like the little suction cups. That's awesome.
I know, isn't it
They're like
great?
the
Like, I
tick,
had her
tick,
all
tick.
suctioned on my
Ooh,
arm. And I'm like,
really?
yes.
Scared me. It really sucked on.
Yeah, I do.
You didn't trust him, huh?
He didn't get to feed them.
I heard don't put your hand in the middle. Yeah, right there. Don't do that. I think that's where the damage happens.
That's the beach. Let's not be doing that. That's not the beach.
It's pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah,
It's a neat creature.
so cool, so intelligent.
I know. The lighting is perfect.
Think of any other time, anytime you guys
So I wonder what's venomous. I mean, maybe a lionfish? Oh, I think there's some stonefish in here. So these guys are right there. Are the rockfish, stonefish? Do you can step on them, they hurt you?
There's been going on.
These are, I think, moon jellies?
Oh yeah. What's that?
And these are the ones that will sting the heck out of you. It's kind of crazy to just feel like you have the run of the place and you can just go into any door in any room and they trust you that you're not going to cause any kind of chaos. We could go up and down gantries, we could look down in the tanks, we'd occasionally touch something, and because we're hobbyists, here are a whole bunch of strawberry anemones under some crazy blue moonlighting. So it looks kind of bad on film, but it was really beautiful to the eye. As you move from exhibit to exhibit, because I don't work here, I didn't know what to expect in the next tank. but it was always fun to find things that I could identify with, like this conch. This next tank had some really pretty crabs down deep below that you would view from the front. I don't even know what kind they are because, again, all the signage is on the front of the tank, so I can't even identify everything that I saw. But I did enjoy seeing how they interacted in their displays, how this guy here was reaching out to the water column to the surface as if he was going to grab something that was floating nearby. I didn't see anything in the water. When you do visit public aquariums, you can ask about behind-the-scenes tours, and oftentimes there's a fee, and you usually get a one-on-one, or you'll be with a small group, and they'll bring you through certain areas of the facilities to show you. But look how little space there is to get around in there. You can imagine how touring this particular area probably isn't even an option, because they have to make sure that no contaminants get into the system. Without a tour guide, it's really just guesswork. But when you see smaller tanks like this in the background with some livestock here and there, very likely you're either dealing with quarantine or they're in timeout because they may be causing problems in the tank, or they just need to be observed to see what is going on with this particular piece of livestock. Another possibility is that these are grow-out tanks for extra livestock that may be going to other aquariums throughout the nation. Another point to note is just the actual volume, the sounds of everything running and trickling. You would never hear this as a client coming into the aquarium, but behind the scenes, you hear the humming, you hear water flowing, you see the filtration, you'll notice signage describing various things when they were added. Check out the electrical, check out the plumbing, check out the cooling and heating system. Look all around you. All of this is what makes it tick and allows these various facilities to keep all the livestock healthy and happy. Now, the reason this camera is going all over the place is I'm trying to climb up a very narrow ladder holding an iPhone. Eventually, I found my footing. A complete guess on my part, just based on the fish, those anemones, the starfish. I'm going to guess this is a cold water tank, but I really don't know. I should not be a tour guide for the Birch Aquarium. Don't hire me. Descending from that ladder, I found another corridor and decided to see what else there was to find. I'm saving some of the really cool stuff for the end, so I hope I'm not boring you to tears. Here would be their kitchen area for food prep. And this is one gantry I didn't climb up, but boy did I want to. But I just had this feeling I don't belong up there. But be that as it may, I saw others were up there. Here was a couple more what I would call quarantine or holding tanks. Here's some livestock that I would guess was being held until it was ready to go into a display for everyone to see. Sometimes you'll even notice clues on the tanks telling you how big they are. In this case, that's a 50-gallon cubicle. Just kind of nice to have an idea of what you're looking at when you're seeing it later, or even while you're there. Here's a 60-gallon setup, mostly rock. A massive diadema urchin down there. Something hiding inside the PVC pipe that never came out. I waited and it never showed its face. Nope, not going to show me. And some soft corals. And then there was a tank that had a huge basket in it with an anemone trapped inside. And this is like a huge basket. I kind of think it's a laundry basket. Look at this beautiful anemone in jail, so to speak, with its requisite clownfish, naturally. So that will be a beauty, whatever tank it's going into. As promised, here is my favorite part, or the best part of the behind the scenes. I felt like I'd entered the secret laboratory where all the magic happens for us reef keepers. I saw the big vats, which you know would have corals in them. I saw smaller tanks, smaller biotopes. There's the mangrove trees that are growing out of one of the displays. You see the excellent lighting over the system. Plenty of room for workers to get around. And let's take a closer look. So this vat doesn't just have frags. It has an entire reef growing in it. And look, they even cut out a window in the side so you could enjoy it. These aren't little tiny frags. These are mini and great colonies. Look at the green slimer in the background. There's a milka coral right there. I saw Welzo. There's an Acroporanana. There are some huge colonies. And look at the coralline just encrusting the PVC and the tank. There's a big old Montipora right there. And then each of these tanks had livestock in them all. And as you can see, everyone's getting a good look from above at some of the exhibits that we saw before from the front. A behind the scenes tour that's happening after hours is going to be whatever the lighting is at that time of night. You may or may not have the opportunity to see things being fed, which is usually something we really enjoy because we love the response from the livestock. Look at these mangroves. Look how large they've grown. I've seen mangrove exhibits in multiple different places, and some are, trees. They're massive. This is definitely doing quite well in these facilities, and they've had to move the lights up quite high for those plants to grow. This is that tank with the golden jacks that we saw earlier in the video, along with a feather starfish at the top of the rockwork. I need to learn more about those fish because I think they're really pretty. I don't know if I can get away with keeping them, or if they're even available, but they sure are eye-catching. This is an adult-sized flamboyant cuttlefish displaying markings that are changing as you watch closely. Let's listen in on this other cuttlefish conversation.
Been eating, but they're just hanging out.
Look at my camera.
Go down.
Your camera sucks.
They're full of air. Yeah, it's broke or something.
Maybe.
They're full of air. I just squeeze them.
Just squeeze them out. We have one that knows what he's doing. He's down there.
That's the one I saw earlier.
Right. He's swimming away.
Come back here.
We've had flamboyant cuttlefish for the last 2 years, and I'm so used to them that when we got the common cuttlefish and they started swimming, because with flamboyants, when they stay at the top for too long, there's something wrong, whether they're stressed out or they're not getting enough to eat. But with the other cuttlefish, they're never really walking on the bottom. And so, to me, my instinct is like, what's wrong? We gotta figure out what's wrong.
Huge thanks to the Birch Aquarium for opening up their doors and allowing us to explore. Did you like it? What was your favorite part? And if you've been here before, be sure to put in the comments below how you liked it. If you have questions, I have no idea if I know the answer, but feel free to like, comment, and share this video with everyone. I'll be back with the next video later this week.